Okay, we are live. Okay, thank you, everybody. We'll give a few seconds for people to kind of scroll through and find us live. But on this live, this is the RFA team, and we really want to give back to the industry, especially shops that have been affected by the recent storms. So we are here to give out tips. These three gentlemen have lots of experience filing insurance claim for store damage on stores. So even I will be learning some things here, but tips for filing, actually filing a claim for damage to your store from weather, a storm. So in addition, I want to remind you, we do have a GoFundMe going. All of the proceeds will be given out 100% to shop owners. That we have a small little application process. It's just like a couple of questions that have had damage or some sort of financial impact due to the storms. And so I'll be posting that in the chat below this live. So wherever you're watching this, just look for that. If you want to donate $5, $1,000, it's up to you. If you can't donate, a share would be very helpful. And there's a video there that you can watch. But if you also just want to donate like your physical time, like maybe you want to find out if there's shops that you can drive to and help them clean up, paint, set their store back up, right? Because all that has to be done too. People don't come in and do that for you. So just keep that in mind. While we're live, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to type them in there. And we also will be giving out a free document. I'll be putting links in the chat for you to go and download those. So first, let's go around the screen and let everybody introduce themselves first. I am Nicole Russell. I am the owner of Cellbotics. We do cell phone and repair training. If you are not in the repair industry and you want to enter, we can definitely help you. I also sit on the board for Repairs First Association. And if you want to join the industry or already in the industry, have a store or mobile unit owner, like this is the association you need to sign up for. If you have any questions about the association, please reach out. And then also part owner of the Gadget Repair Expo. So if you've not been to that expo and you want, you need any information about it, reach out. But it's gadgetrepairexpo.com, and it's coming up May 7th and 8th in Miami, 2025. So, okay. Go ahead, Jeremy. You go first.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeremy Klaturski. I've been in the industry for over 30 years. Started a company called CPR Cell Phone Repair back in 2000. Started franchising that, and we built well over 500 locations before we sold in 2015. Part of this call is, helping you with some of that experience that this team here has. In helping, well over hundreds and hundreds of stores that may have had to file a claim at one time or the other. A lot of our stores were in Florida. We've been through hurricanes before. Even robberies, those kind of things, smash and grabs. So they all kind of fall under this, insurance claim process. But for now, we really want to get some information out to those of us that have been directly in the target of the past couple hurricanes, and hopefully no future damage will come here this year or anytime in the future. But if so, we want you to know that we've got your back, and we're here to answer any questions you might have. As for filing claims, it's really a pretty simple process, and Nicole's got a great chart, and we'll go through that. But I'll pass on the introductions here as we go. We look forward to helping you as quickly as we can. And of course, our numbers will be listed here if you need to reach out to any of us personally.
Thank you. All right, Brad, what about you? Introduce yourself. Who are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm Brad Broom, one of the founders for the Gadget Repair Expo and also Repairs First Association. Started out first with a CPR cell phone repair. Worked with them for quite some time. My strong suit would be the front of the house operations. With customer service, getting all your sales reps geared up and ready to go for a great day.
Awesome.
Brian?
Brian
Ahern, co-founder of the Repairs First Association and the Gadget Repair Expo. Most of you, if you haven't heard of us, go to www.repairsfirst.com. The RFA provides a franchise level support mechanism, but without the franchise fees. We have everything from customer lending to shop insurance companies to device insurance, all kinds of things. So check us out if you haven't heard of us.
Thank you. All right. So we do have a document. I'm going to try to share it here. This is the first time I'm ever sharing a document on StreamYard. So, okay, it worked. I was really worried. I was like, what is going to pop up on the screen? Okay. So we have just, I mean, it's just a quick 1 to 5 tips. You can download this, but this is kind of what we're going to use just to go through and give some tips on each point. So Jeremy, I'll let you take the lead here, and then I'm gonna chime in with questions too. So I'm looking forward to learn, and you guys go ahead.
Yes, for sure. So the first thing obviously you want to do is take a ton of pictures. Don't pick up anything. Don't go in there and start cleaning up and sweeping up, and don't do anything until you take a ton of pictures and everything is documented, all the damage, anything that might be laying on the floor, anything that might have got wet. This is vital. Don't clean up first, take pictures first. And then you call your insurance company and say, hey, I've been a victim of the hurricane. This is what I need. I've experienced some damage. I have some claims. I have some claims I'd like to file in regards to that. So number one, document. Number one is absolutely vital. You document everything you can. Number two is call the insurance company. But I will tell you this. Don't tell them what you think the damage is. That is really, really vital. Give yourself some time to get that information together properly.
What do you mean, Jeremy? Do you mean like the amount?
Too often they want to ask you. They want to bookend you into an amount, right? Do you think it's $5,000 worth of damage?
Like
right?
immediately, so when you call them, that's like
for sure. Yeah, the faster they can settle it with you, the better, right? At the lowest amount. So if they can say, do you think it's $2,000 worth of damage? You say, yeah, I think it's probably $2,000 worth of damage. Okay, we'll issue a check right now. We'll send you over the thing. You sign the form and you're done. And then you later find out that, some of your phones got wet and some other things that maybe you didn't notice right away. Cost of putting new signage up. Maybe the permitting process is a lot more expensive than you thought. 10 years ago when you first opened your shop, maybe it was only 500. Maybe it's a couple thousand now. So there are all kinds of factors involved here that, I implore you, don't tell them how much you think the damage is until you really know for sure. And I want you to document everything. I want you to write everything down. What the cost of the window? What about flooring? Did any furniture, any fixtures get damaged? And just because you think, I might be able to clean that up, you should also report that damage, because something that's wet today, maybe you dry it off, you find out it was actually wet inside. These countertops, things are made of particle board. And next thing you know, a couple of weeks, couple of months, it's starting to expand and to deteriorate, and you never claimed it on your insurance. So I would just implore you to take the time to document, of course, all the pictures, and also figure out exactly what has been damaged and what the cost will be to replace it. Not just clean it up, but replace it. And then when you go give them replacement costs, at that point, now you can have an argument with them about, well, can't you just clean it up? Well, no, I could clean it up, but it's actually damaged. So cleaning it up isn't really going to be effective here. They're going to want you to kind of wipe anything down and not have to fix it or replace it. But look, this is your shop. You have insurance for a reason, and your deductible is not going to change regardless of whether you have $10,000 worth of damage or $5,000 worth of damage. So don't do the insurance company any favors. Make sure you're working for yourself here and you're getting all the benefits you can from that insurance policy that you have in place.
And I guess they would, you can ask them, like, how much time do I have to accumulate this information?
Yeah, but you have all the time you need. They cannot tell you there's a time limit. In the policy itself, it may say 90 days or 120 days. But at that point, if there's something you're still in an outlier and you haven't got the information, I'm sure that you can get a waiver. That nobody's going to force you to settle quickly. However, I understand the predicament that you're in. You want to be recovered and whole as fast as you can. All I'm saying is take a few extra days, not necessarily months, but take a few extra days and make some phone calls. Make sure that everything that you experience damage-wise can be replaced and what that exact cost will be. So that way you're not ending up with the short end of the stick.
Got it. What about, so say that you're renting the space
Mm-hmm.
and the structure, like that's not your insurance, that's the building's
No,
insurance. That's very
no.
confusing. Like like if I'm a shop owner and my shop has been flooded, but all the water came out and I'm able to clean up and file with my insurance, but like how do you know even the structure of the place is good? And I mean, how long does that even take? I mean, like some of these shop owners are like, I know I'm going to be closed for a month, but like I don't even know how long after that. So
Okay.
like,
Yeah, so I've experienced this myself, and not with a hurricane. In 2005, one of my main shop caught on fire. Ended up being a bad wiring in the actual building itself, so had nothing to do with me. But I had to wait for the landlord's insurance to settle, rebuild it, and put me back in there. Meanwhile, I can't go, without doing any business for months and months and months while they go through that process. So. One, I was able to get an exclusion from the lease. Two, I was able to get a temporary structure set outside. It was basically they delivered me a trailer, and I was able to continue doing repairs in the front parking lot of my existing establishment while I built out another location. Because obviously I had to continue in business. I can't just go out of business waiting for the landlord to get the structure fixed. So at that point in time, the landlord's company paid me to move, and I had to. I mean, it wasn't my fault. So I was able to collect $25,000 for rent abatement, and rent recovery. Deposits I had to put on a new location. So all these things are possible, and we can help you walk through that. And we can even look at some of the offers that might come across the board. So if you get something from the insurance company, you go, wait a minute, I don't know if this is accurate. I don't want to get an attorney involved yet. I don't have the money yet. I haven't recovered any damage money. And now I'm coming out of my pocket with trying to hire an attorney to look at some of these documents that the insurance company has given me. We'll be glad to look at those for you. We're not attorneys. We might have to recommend that you do speak to an attorney, but most times we can look at these documents and go, hey, this is pretty straightforward. Here's what they're telling you. Remember, we dealt with this for decades, so we can definitely help. We can't perform an attorney's function, but we can at least get you, most of the way through almost any document that comes across. And if you're confused, don't sign. Just use that rule of thumb. If it's something that you don't understand, don't sign. Contact us. We're glad to take another look at it for you and give you some advice about what to do. But again, don't sign anything you're not comfortable with.
That's great. I just listed the general email box for Repairs First in the chat. So, if you're watching this now or, the recorded version later and you want to reach out and you have questions, please feel free to do so. And, this is for anyone, not just for members. I mean, we are just trying to help the industry. As a reminder, I have posted the link for the GoFundMe in the chat. Wherever you are watching this, there will be a link for it underneath. 100% of the funds donated to the GoFundMe will be distributed to shop owners. And so we're building the fund up and we'll start distributing shortly. If you have submitted an application, we will be in touch with you. We do have your information. And then also you can download this document if you'd like to at this link, which is also under the live. So anything else about documenting? And I mean, I guess it's a very confusing time. I think if you lose your whole store, like overnight, like especially if it's like one shop and it was your only revenue stream, like I can't imagine. What about recouping lost revenue? Is that something that can be put on an insurance claim?
Oh yeah, definitely. Loss of business is very common. Most people have it. So take a look at that on your policy. If you're not sure if you do have it, and your policies may be even confusing to you, we're more than happy to take a look at that again as a second set of eyes. Brian's done a ton of work, in helping people look at leases and helping people look at insurance policies, helping people get insurance policies. Well, I always suggest that you have a loss of business in there. If you have a fire, if you have a break-in and you have to close for several days, a week, month, whatever, you have to recover that loss of business. And what they generally do is they take the last couple of years of revenue, or as long as you've been open, and they create an aggregate of whatever that average revenue is, and then they'll issue a check based on that. So if you're out of business for a month, they're going to give you a month's worth of revenue based on what your average aggregate is for revenue. So and you can get that very, very quickly. So let's also put that in perspective for those of you who've been in the hurricane and now you've been closed almost a week, maybe longer if it was part of Hurricane Helen. You can get that recovery for loss of business very fast, and it's going to come in immediately as soon as you start talking to your adjuster. And you can provide them with your point of sale report of some kind, that telling those income, and they don't care about your expenses. They want to know what your income is. They know that you've got employees that have to be paid. Nobody wants to lose employees because they can't pay them. So that's going to be your first check that they cut, is loss of business. If you don't have it, I apologize to you that that somebody never pointed that out. But please add it in the future. If you're watching this and you've been lucky enough to not have to encounter these kind of things yet, add loss of business to your insurance policy is so vital.
I didn't even know that, to be honest. Call me clueless, but I don't understand insurance very much. I know that we get it, but I've not had to dive deep like this for any reason, thankfully. So that's very interesting. I didn't know that. I'm just going to be honest. If anybody else didn't know that, you can comment below.
Well,
maybe it was just me, but
dealing with the insurance company is like dealing with the IRS. None of us business owners want to deal with that, right? So we look at this stuff and we're like, oh God, I don't even want to think about it, right? But at the end of the day, are you protected? And in loss of business policy, as well as liability, of course, so many trips and falls, as well as content insurance, not only for content of yours, right, but also your customers' phones and devices. So you gotta make sure the insurance policy also covers external contents that come from somebody else's property that might be at your location. When I had the fire, one thing I did not have was a ton of content insurance. I definitely didn't have any coverage for other people's devices. So almost everything that I recovered went to replacing customers' devices, and it was pretty bad. So
wow.
I learned my lesson, and I took those lessons learned, and we replicated them with our franchisees and all of our future stores that we've been affiliated with. So anytime you have questions about insurance, Brian, he's fully aware of this. He has helped many times in the past. Brad, if you know Brad personally, or Nicole, reach out to any of us, and we'll get you the answers that you need.
I will always get you to the person you need to know if I don't know it. So let's talk about adjuster. What is an adjuster? Who is an adjuster? What are they like working with? Are they your advocate, or do they pretend to be your advocate? Are they really the insurance company's advocate?
Well, they're the insurance company's advocate, of course.
Okay.
I mean, they're paid to be nice to you, but
Okay.
don't pretend that they're your friend. They're working for the insurance company. So at the end of the day, they're going to be the ones that coordinate between you and the insurance company, all the information that they need to gather, and they being the insurance company, from you in order to pay you. So that being said, a lot of times adjusters can be very, very nice. Sometimes they're third party. They work with another company and they're hired by the insurance company because of, something like this. When you have a natural disaster, obviously they don't have enough adjusters. They have to hire for third party adjusters. And you can get some that's certainly going to feel bad for you and understand your predicament and where you're at. That being said, don't ever pretend that you can give them secret information and they're going to keep a secret. So remember, at the end of the day, they work for an insurance company. So, but adjusters are just a facilitator. They facilitate the information that you're collecting, all the receipts. A lot of things they're going to ask you too is, that TV that was damaged, what did you pay for, right? What would a replacement cost? So you would do yourself a favor and check your own replacement costs, right? Go online, look up that Vizio TV that's in your lobby, look up that furniture that was damaged and that countertops, and get the current price for replacement and track all that on a spreadsheet. That way you can hand it to the adjuster and you can get this stuff done. Don't count on them to go back and go, well, I could find a Vizio somewhere on eBay for, 120 bucks. I know you paid 400. We'll give you 120. No. Right. So
Right.
at the end of the day, you need to do the work to make sure you get paid. So collect the information on everything you think is damaged. You took all the pictures, make sure that you document everything, and then go through and figure out exactly what that's worth and a replacement value. And, not necessarily do they look at you bought it 5 years ago and it depreciated and now it's used, and nobody's going through that. They need a replacement. That's the key thing. So try not to stress out too much about, whether it's still valued at what you paid for it. The key thing here is replacement value.
I have a question. And this is, I mean, it doesn't really pertain to insurance, but right now, some shops, they can't open their doors. They've got payroll to cover. They've got all these things. All of a sudden, they've got their personal bills. I mean, just to be hit with all of that immediately. Now, say you have savings, that's great. You can use that. Do you recommend, like, if a shop is in this situation, they take some sort of loan to cover this stuff? Does the insurance, is there, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm just thinking of the shop owners that are like right now, they can't open their doors day to day. There's no revenue coming in, and this is their only income. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
mean,
very
we feel
stressful.
terrible about this, and it's a
Very
terrible
stressful.
place to be in. And that's why, Nicole, Brian, Brad, and I, we all came up with the GoFundMe, right? RFA is one of the biggest contributors. We put $1,000 of our own money in here. We're trying to help as much as we can. If you find yourself in that position, please contact us, because we're going to continue to try to help as many shops as we can, and it's for as long as it takes, in any way. So if you find yourself in that predicament, contact us. Let's see what we can do. Tell us what you need, what your basic needs are, what you can do to get by, and we'll try to put our heads together and see if we can find some solutions for you. Because everybody's situation is different. We can't just say here on a call that it's going to be X, Y, Z. You can reach out to us and have a private conversation, and you can trust that we're going to keep that information confidential, whatever it might be. Nobody likes to discuss the fact that they're behind in payroll, and nobody likes to discuss the fact that they're behind in rent, and going into the storm, maybe they were a month behind in rent. Heck, all of us have been there. We've all been there, where we've been struggling up to a moment where we thought we were going to get ahead, and then we get hit by something like this, a natural disaster, and it puts you really, really close to, being in danger of bankruptcy. So we don't want to see that. It is something you found yourself at the end, and you have no other choices, and you think you don't have any clear path. Contact us. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to remove the document from the screen. I think we're done with that. And we'll just recap and get off of here. I think we've given a lot of good information. I just want to say, for anybody that's watching and isn't familiar with the RFA team, Brian, Jeremy, and Brad started RFA. And these are the conversations that we have that people don't hear, is like when things like this happen. This wasn't, I think when people see lives, they think Nicole, because Nicole's always live. But really, this was like the three of them. They actually approached shops and were like, hey, like in messages, do you need any help? If you need, and that's, where we came like, hey, maybe we do a live, maybe some other people want to do it. So this is the things that happen behind the scenes that people don't really see, that, they really are sitting back here trying to figure out how to help. And they have a wealth of knowledge. Like I said, I have zero experience filing insurance claims. I've never had to do that. But Jeremy, Brad, and Brian have a ton of experience, and they are doing this to try to help you. It's not even about being a member of the RFA. It's just helping the industry. So I want people to understand that this is legitimate, from the heart help. And if you need it, reach out. Don't feel like you're all alone, because some of the owners that I've talked to, I feel like a lot of desperation, and it's really, really hard to hear because, you know, I got robbed one time at my store and they emptied my store out and I didn't have the proper insurance and it was devastating. I can't imagine like a storm wiping out everything. So, you know, reach out, you know, they have the experience. If you just know how to reach me, I will connect you with them. It's not hard to reach them. And then, you know, just keep in mind, if you're not an RFA member, there's a lot of benefits to being a member, but definitely for this topic, this is for anyone. We're just here to help. So any last words before we get off of here?
One thing I will say is that's why we created the RFA, right? Is we wanted to help shops and we wanted to help this industry. And, you know, our heart is deeply set within the repair industry. We've all devoted a ton of our lives to this industry, happily. And it's benefited us all. And the hard work is certainly, you know, has paid off for all of us who have been in this industry for a long time. And if we can pay it forward by being here for you and giving you that experience, like Nicole said, you don't have to be a member. You can contact any one of us and we'll be glad to help. We have no requirement that you have to be an RFA member to ask us for help. And so I want to make that clear. And Nicole said it, and it's absolutely true.
Yeah. And Top Gaming made a comment. I wish I could turn back time. So I don't know what you're going through. Obviously, that's a deep comment. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that way. If you need help, just reach out. If you just need someone to talk to, someone just to bounce ideas off, it can feel very lonely as a business owner. I think all of us know that. When I joined the RFA, I always tell people it was like one of the best things that happened in my life because I gained 3 people that are interested in my success, which is very hard to find. And so I was an individual owner for so long by myself, not having a partner to talk to, not having even like a spouse to talk to, just by myself, just the engine. And that can be very, very difficult. Sometimes you don't even need something from somebody. You just need someone to bounce ideas off, you know, even if it's just that, just reach out because there is a lot of desperation out there. These storms covered a very wide area in my home area. I mean, I'm East Coast, Southeast Coast, you know, Georgia. I'm from Florida. So this hits home a lot for me. So just reach out if you need anything, you know. So, but Top Gaming, we hope that you know, reach out. We hope you get figured out whatever's going on. So,
yeah.
Okay. Well, the document is linked below. The GoFundMe is linked below. If you need any help, there's an email, but we all have social media. It's very easy just to send a message on social media too. So you don't, you know, if you're not comfortable with email or whatever, also we have the website repairsfirst.com. You can go there and reach out. But either way, we really hope everybody's getting through this. We know some of you are going to struggle more than others, but we're here to help if you need it. And yeah, so I guess we'll get off of here.
Thank you all. God bless.
Bye.